Flight boss, bitch. For sure. You're not listening to the mind of an Terry's Moon. Flight boss, the Archangel Uriel. And I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And what you're looking at right now is a graph that I have created. You know what I'm saying? I know it look like a pyramid. It's like a pyramid scheme. Y'all can go to my video to understand the pyramid scheme. But for the most part, this is getting ready to help you understand your higher self. And I understand due to the words that we use, we may not be getting a whole perception of the picture. So that's why it's always good to have some type of artistic nature to express what's actually going on in the spirit realm. So there's a few things that I got to break down before we fully dive into this video. The first thing I want to break down is this. These are dimensions. So this is the land of becoming. So we're in a dimension of that span from 9. Now, like I said, don't be trying to understand 9 from scientific perspective, from a third dimensional perspective. When 9 from a spiritual perspective is actually first in this realm. So that's why when you take the number 9 and utilize it in a third dimensional realm, that's why I got all those mathematical tricks. Anytime you try to do a mathematical equation with 9, that's why it plays out differently than all the other numbers. You see what I'm saying? So you have to understand this. As a spirit, when you go up, physically you go down. So it's like a opposition type of system we got going on. You know what I'm saying? The higher up you go spiritually, the further down you go physically. So it's like it's playing out that expansion contraction type thing. So you could become a world big enough to have beings live within you. And for the most part, here's what I mean by that, right? Let's use Saturn for instance. Saturn is a star that did so much shit that it's so bright it don't even reflect light like that anymore. You see what I'm saying? So it's getting ready to become a star that you can't even see. So for the most part, what I mean by that is, now for a star to even be that heavy and to sink that heavy, that spirit must have elevated and went high enough and developed enough information to even develop a body to even go into that shape and form in the first place. You get what I'm saying? So the higher up spiritually you go, the heavier, the bigger the shape and form and the body you can create for yourself to inhabit. Now that we understand that, each dimension is like a layer, a realm of reality, a world. So what does that mean? There's going to be beings that live there. Same way you live on the third dimension. So you see animals, bugs, humans, you know what I'm saying? You see trees, plants, all kind of shit. So that's letting you know if you stay in this same ring, whatever you resonate with and choose to resonate with and don't escape from, as a spirit, you will stay in this ring. You will stay in this pattern and take one of those shapes and forms over and over again. But for the most part, I'm trying to get you an understanding of the dimensions. So this is where you at right now. Now, I'm finna give you an understanding of the dimensions so you can understand your higher self. Now, you got birth as a spirit and you came from this realm, the 9th dimensional realm, right? So, and then you got birth out of the 0 realm from the 9th dimension. Now, the 9th dimension is the space that we are in at the moment, which means the spirit or the being who did whatever you getting ready to do before you. Basically. So that would be the top of the pyramid. So this is what you need to understand. When we talk about the astral realm, as far as the pyramids, this group, this set of 3, give their information down to this set of 3. And then this set of 3 take that information and give us, not me, but all y'all in the third dimension, that set of information. So it's like hand-me-down information. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, let's break this down. Now, out of the 0, out of the space, as a spirit, right? The 1-dimensional realm is the first light body you create for yourself. Your light. So for you to become an individual spirit, which is a soul, to be individually aware of yourself within this astral travel, you create your first light, right? Now, with this first light, you traveling. Now you're traveling for the 2nd dimension. You in search for a light. And what does that mean? Light is a womb. You create your imagination, you create your thought, you create your womb. So as a spirit, you go into that. That's your first light. So now you get to experience yourself as a spirit and be aware to be an individual. Now with that light body, you travel and search for a bigger room, aka a person that then did this before you. So that means they already a bigger source, a bigger light, a bigger womb than you. So you get to take your small womb and go into that womb. And then once you go into that womb, you can develop and come out as and become the physical light. So you see, as a spirit, you create your light, then you in search for the duality, the relatable light, and then once that vibrate at a low rate, then you become that light that you create. And now you are in a light body as a spirit. You are the spirit in this bottle. This bottle is the light, you becoming the light, the third dimensional vessel, the human being. Remember, the human being is two different things. You see what I'm saying? You are a being having a human experience. So as a spirit, you are experiencing being a human in the third dimension. You see what I'm saying? So right now, that's the kind of body you got. So let's go to the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. Now let's start to talk about your higher self. Now these are bodies you have to wake up. Now, like I said, your fourth dimensional body is the body that you're working on right now, that you're developing. Your fifth dimensional body, you're developing that right now, and your sixth dimensional body, you're developing that right now. Now, how you tap into your fourth dimensional body is when you start to think, analyze, communicate with yourself, your mental body, right? When you jump into your fifth dimensional body, right? That's when you jump into your vibe, your vibrations, your emotions and feelings. So that's when you jump into that realm. When you jump into that body, you live in that world. Now, and then your conscious, then when you jump into your sixth dimensional body, that will be your conscious body, your light body, which is your star, your ability to will in attention, your ability to gain traction, your ability to become a star based upon what you're consciously aware of. So like I said, now the physical representation of these things, like I said, if you was like a bug or something like that, or animal, they may only be seeing your light. They're not seeing the physical shape and form of you third dimensional wise. That's what you need to understand. So bugs who have two-dimensional lights and things, eyesights like bees and spiders and shit like that, they're seeing your light emitted reflections and the information in those. They're not seeing your basic shape and form how you think you're seeing it. All right, now when you jump into, now check this out. Like I said, these dimensions are worlds, right? So these bodies, you're still weak. You're still learning how to develop these bodies. Now, the physical representation of these bodies is what you would see as oversouls. The fifth dimensional will be a planet. The sixth dimensional will be a star. So you're trying to develop these bodies right now in your third dimensional body. So the more you get enlightened in your mental body and go into that world, the more you develop your oversoul body. The more you develop your vibrational world is the more you develop your planetary body. You see what I'm saying? So you can become a planet. The more you develop your conscious body, which is when you jump into your consciousness, your actions, when you try to be consciously awake, be consciously aware of things, you wake this body up and you start to shape this body, and that's your star body on this level. That's how you perceive the things that you got on this level. Your oversoul body will be your mentality. Your planet body will be your emotions and feelings, your vibrations. Your star body will be your consciousness. You see what I'm saying? And what people can be consciously aware of you and what you're consciously aware of. So now look, here's when we got a problem. Now, we can't actually perceive this realm from this realm because you have to actually be one of these. You have to actually die from the third dimension. Now, for you to get to the third dimension, you have died and got born in this dimension. Then you transformed and got birthed into this dimension. Now you have to do that again and die and go into this dimension. Now, once you get into the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, then in those worlds, that's when you will be able to understand how to perceive this world and develop bodies and concepts to go into these realms. But down here, you can't even get there. You have to go through them, and you're learning how to develop these bodies to get there right now before you die from this realm. So for the most part, here's where we got a motherfucking problem, right? Because your higher self, when you be talking to yourself, or that inner wisdom, that inner meaning and reasoning that you got within yourself, right? Or when you come up with nicknames with yourself, That's you. Or when you quote unquote think you're accessing spirits, here for my black magic motherfuckers right here. Niggas who into dark magic and shit. When y'all think y'all accessing other spirits and shit, that's you. Right? That's you. When you accessing different ideas, different feelings and emotions, different conscious awarenesses. That's you. That's you waking up those bodies and you living in those realms. But here's where we get a problem with motherfucking mankind in the third dimension. You end up jumping into these bodies, right? And end up saying, what? God made me think this. Or if you into black magic and you access another spirits, Azazel made me think this. Abaddon made me think this. Then when you jump into this body, oh God, why do I feel like this? God made me feel this way. God said we should all feel this way. Azazel said we should bring destruction. You know what I'm saying? Then when you jump into this body, this body, here's what's happening, right? You're no longer praying to yourself. You give a name, and you're no longer following your own star, your own consciousness, your own idea, your own imagination. You end up following the external version, the one that have did this before you. So it's already there. You end up following their imagination, that lost star, that creation, that world, that realm, to the point that your consciousness is not even your consciousness anymore. You're going by someone else's consciousness, aka you're praying. You're going by someone else's system. You're going by someone else's ideas and theology. You're acting and carrying out the duties and obligations of someone else in this realm. Remind you, this is the star conscious. You just jumped into this body, but you ain't died and got there yet. So when you get there, it's just a light body to you at the moment in the third dimension. So when you get there, you're pretty much just flying around the astral realm, but you're following other stars in this realm. And these motherfuckers got stars is consciousness. So you're following these bodies around and you're carrying their conscious, their ideas, their duties and obligations down here. And what's happening is you're staying down here even when you die. You're not ascending because you're carrying out the duties and obligations of the motherfuckers you've been calling on to make you continue to do shit down here. Love mankind. Work hard down here. Stay down here. Plant fruit and be fruitful down here. Carry out our motherfuckers' imagination and our dreams and make sure that shit stay running under our government. When you're supposed to create your own oversoul body, your own planet body, your own sun. You're supposed to become your own star. Don't get blinded by what these motherfuckers taught you what a star is, to the point that you could only be a star down here. So you could only shine down here and be this little star. And then when somebody down here start to tell you that these stars is real up here, you be like, nah, motherfucker, I'm a star. I'm just a celebrity. But they don't actually mean these stars. Don't let these motherfucking spirits blind you and think that shit. Motherfucker, they know what they talk about. No, they very well mean that shit. You are becoming a star, but you just got lost by one of these stars into thinking that you can only become a star on this kind of concept. So when somebody else kick a higher idea of a star to you, you don't see it in no other way. So you rather die and live and die trying to be a star down here. So all that be on these bodies. So when you die, these bodies come right back here and you only see being a star in this way. You see what I'm saying? So you don't even experience dying and actually even going into these realms of realities to learn how to develop one of these spaceships, one of these bodies. Because you could easily say that this will be a solar system, this will be a galaxy, and this will be a universe. But us being down here in the third dimension, we don't even know how to develop these kind of bodies. And these motherfuckers, we still learning how to develop these bodies. And these motherfuckers is trying to learn how to develop these bodies same way we're down here trying to learn how to develop their bodies. And they're using us as source and power to develop these bodies. And once we get there, we gonna start to learn and know the game. But a lot of y'all ain't gonna never learn the game because y'all still underneath the game down here. Y'all not getting overstanding. Y'all stand understanding. So your higher self is you. So anytime you should be accessing someone outside of you, like Jesus or Azazel, you should be working with these motherfuckers, and it should be a 50-50 process down here. And they should be helping you how to develop and awaken more and more of your spaceship, more and more of your body in that realm. So when you go into these realms, even though you're still living in a third dimension, when you take one of your light bodies and live in this realm, you're strong as hell. And motherfuckers in this realm are scared of you and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You need to understand your higher self. Look, this is you, your higher self. So the people you amongst down here, that's them too. But a lot of them get took over by other motherfuckers and bring down this shit right here. Because motherfuckers up here could be so powerful that one motherfucker up here will portray 50 motherfuckers down here. So you might run across 50 different motherfuckers that take you through 50 different scenarios down here that all portray the same kind of energy signature because they all ruled by this same motherfucker that ruled this specific location and space at the time. Remember, this is a whole multitude. It could be niggas who rule this space, 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 rule this. You see what I'm saying? But for the most part, that's how that motherfucking happens. You see what I'm saying? And you got to be aware of that shit. But you up here also. But a nigga might be vibrating hard as fuck up here and got authority up here that you get taken over up here, aka you get took over by somebody else's consciousness. You get took, then even in this realm, you get took over by someone else's expressions. Even down here, you get took over by someone else's ways of thinking and ideas and stuff like that. To the point it play out in the physical realm down here. You end up being a follower down here. So you a follower of a lost star up here. And then that motherfucker might be a lost star. That motherfucker might, the star up here might be lost. So the motherfucker, his lower self down here where you at, y'all could be talking to each other. He don't even know himself. He lost up here by another lost motherfucker. But y'all both up here, and he might got a lot power than you and y'all light bodies. So when y'all come down here, he vibrating higher than you down here. So he might got a bunch of followers and shit down here. You know what I'm saying? But he still lost also. You get it? So you got to keep that in mind. Shit go deep when it comes into your higher self. Protect your higher bodies. Because you might not even get a chance to awaken these bodies. Your ass might be in hell forever down here, getting ruled by these motherfuckers. And a lot of these motherfuckers is your next door neighbors down here. Do you get it? Like, you know what I'm saying? This is all of us. So when you tap into yourself, that's you. The moment you start to say, nah, that's God. Oh, you done fucked up. You done let somebody from these realms take over that body. Now you done got knocked out. Or you done got into a spaceship wreck or something like that. So now you in a sunken place. You falling way down to your lower self. To the point now you looking at your higher self like you at the theater, like a movie screen, while some entity up here is taking over your movie, taking over your character. And you way down here in a sunken place, just looking up. Can't even scream, can't make no influence or nothing. You gotta find yourself all the way back up there again and reclaim your spot again and get that motherfucker up out of there again. And wake up your body again. That's some fucked up shit. And this motherfucker be up there doing all kind of shit. Doing all that kind of shit. You ain't got no control over your body, over your conscious awareness, over none of your conscious bodies. So that's what you need to be motherfucking aware of. Keep that in motherfucking mind. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be sleep up here or be a dumbass motherfucker up here. And it'll play out down here. You dumb as fuck consciously. You dumb as fuck mentally. You dumb as fuck with your emotions and feelings. Yeah, your light body's dumb as fuck in those worlds. So when you die and go to those worlds, you're going to be dumb as fuck there. Like, you don't want that. You don't want that. You see what I'm saying? Y'all, look, that's why I make my page for people who can resonate. Because I'm here for my soul group. My soul group ain't got to deal with this shit. When we get here, right, we already here. We already strong as fuck here in this body. We woke up here. We woke now. We woke consciously, vibrational wise and mentally. We strong there now. We make motherfuckers run from us. We rule this realm. So when we die and get there, we gonna be the shit. And we gonna be the shit, soul group. Do y'all know that? We gonna be creating this shit. Nigga, we gonna be in the seat of the overall. Because look, what you need to understand with this book of Uriel, is not a book to explain the to explain the missing gaps that your religions have taught you. This book of Uriel ain't got shit to do. It's a whole separate different story. So if you don't hear nothing about fucking angels and demons or heaven and hell, don't question and ask me. Because it ain't got shit to do with that. These are words and shit that y'all made up. Now the energy is real. I'm gonna break all that down. But as far as y'all concepts and ideas of it, it's wrong. Like I said, God, that don't come to the 4th chapter. The individual. The book of Uriel is deep. I'm telling y'all, this shit is deep. This book is not going to be about filling in the gaps of what y'all religions have already taught y'all. No, this is the truth from somebody who actually was there. So y'all actually get the perception of it. Us as spirits, all spirits got the possibility and the opportunity to become a god. A god ain't nothing more but reclaiming a space. And reclaiming that imagination and dream as a spirit. Now, you got certain spirits that learned how to do that before other spirits. So these spirits was hard as fuck. They like, damn, these some hard motherfuckers. How y'all learn how to do that? See, in the realm I come from, we use light like a tool. That's a tool to create something. To go into experience. In y'all realm, y'all look at it like the only way to explain it in y'all 3rd dimensional realm as is something going into itself. But in our realm, it's something totally different. Like the book of Uriel is deep. Like I said, the concept of God, that don't come to the 4th chapter. The individual. That's the 4th chapter. I'm telling you, this shit is hard, nigga. But yeah, we're gonna break this down. This is understanding your higher self. Y'all motherfuckers better awaken y'all motherfucking selves and stop being fucking sleep. For y'all got other motherfucking entities taking over y'all shits and y'all following lost stars, lost consciousness and shit. Goddamn, flight boss, bitch, air.